Please welcome William Rickard, Co-Chair, Board of Trustees.
As Co-Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Teachers College, I have the honor of officially opening today's ceremony. On behalf of the entire community at Teachers College, we welcome you to the 2017 Masters Convocation. It's now my great pleasure to introduce the President of Teachers College, Susan H. Furman.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the most joyous occasion of our year as we honor the talented men and women who have already achieved so much and are just getting started. I give you the 2017 Master's graduates of Teachers College. Congratulations, graduates, you made it. Yay! Congratulations as well to those who helped you make it to this day, our outstanding faculty. And our dedicated staff who keep us on track, fed, safe, and well-maintained. And let's all show our appreciation to your families and your partners for their love, encouragement, and support. Graduates, you now join the ranks of our 90,000 alumni who are leaders in education, psychology, and health. Like them, you now have the power to transform the learning environments of your schools and organizations and to expand educational opportunity for everyone, including our most marginalized and vulnerable fellow human beings. And like them, you are dedicating your lives and careers to the pursuit of social justice, a TC tradition that literally goes back to our founder, Grace Hoadley Dodge. Grace Dodge was among the leaders of a growing movement in the late 19th century to provide educational and social opportunities for low-income and marginalized populations. Like her contemporary Jane Addams, who founded settlement houses where people from different socioeconomic backgrounds could share ideas and information, Grace was bound and determined to improve the lives of struggling families. It was her unique vision to establish a college that would prepare teachers to work with immigrant students and families who had recently fled poverty, war, and prejudice, and were still encountering xenophobia and economic peril. It was also Grace Dodge's brilliance to recognize the need for a new kind of educator, one with the skills, cultural understanding, and self-awareness to understand and address immigrants' educational, health, and psychological needs. Armed with this deeper knowledge, this new type of educator could help immigrants and their communities achieve economic mobility and social equality. Thanks to Grace Dodge, Teachers College quickly became a force for increasing educational opportunity as a path to greater social justice. As more populations gained a foothold in society, thanks to institutions like TC, it became essential for educators to teach the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. And the teaching of civics became commonplace in American classrooms through much of the 20th century. Helped by TC icons like Harold Rugg, founder of the National Council for the Social Studies, students were taught to think critically, to make knowledgeable judgments about political and social issues, and to analyze and weigh the statements of journalists, politicians, and policymakers. They were encouraged to participate in constructive and respectful debate, to consider opposing viewpoints, to vote, and even to consider running for office. They were taught about how the U.S., a nation of immigrants, has from time to time encountered and then marginalized waves of nativism. They were taught that basic rights are guaranteed for all, not just for those who triumph at the ballot box. Sadly, over the years, an ever narrower focus on math and English language skills that were tested by states squeezed civics out of the curriculum almost entirely. But we shouldn't romanticize the past. For much of the 20th century, legal and then de facto segregation was contoned. It's clear that the civics of old did not confront the racial and cultural stereotyping and biases that persist today. When we reflect on recent and current events, from violence against people of color, women, and LGBT individuals, to the prevalence of fake news and the divisiveness of our political climate, we must conclude that the time has come to revive civic education for today's multicultural, multiracial, multi-ethnic digital society. And this time, the lessons of critical thinking, civil dialogue, and public engagement must go hand in hand with an unshakable commitment to confront prejudice and discrimination and to secure safety, opportunity, and equality for all. As the largest and best school of education in the world, or the planet, if you will, TC is up to the challenge. We have launched a major civic education initiative to redesign, reinvigorate, and reestablish civic education for the 21st century. Faculty from across departments have been coming together to plan a series of projects from pre-K to post-secondary, from professional development to digital literacy programs. Graduates, we're proud of the ways that you have contributed to our ideas for this initiative and to TC's role in advancing civic education. And we know that you're well prepared to keep challenging, reimagining, and changing the ways our schools and institutions work to produce kind, thoughtful, and engaged citizens. We have faith in the future because we've already seen you promote civic education in at least 3 distinct ways. First, you promoted civic education here at TC, beginning with your calls for more robust discussions on how to educate responsibly about race, gender, and class. For example, through our Racial Literacy Roundtable series, you participated in discussions on topics such as global collaboration through new classroom media, the value of generating youth activism, and the power of personal narrative. Through our Civic Participation Project, you help organize conversations, cultural events, safe spaces, and podcasts for the exchange of multiple perspectives on social justice and youth well-being in our schools and communities. Many of you were instrumental in categorizing 6 dozen courses across the college through a race, ethnicity, and intercultural understanding curriculum map. The map is helping guide TC students as they think about race and diversity from multiple perspectives. The second way you promoted civic education was by supporting faculty and student-led efforts to help produce responsible, engaged citizens. Some of you participated in TC Reading and Writing Project's new classroom library series, which selects high-quality books for K through 8 classrooms that are age-appropriate. Since getting young children interested in reading can help them develop their social and emotional skills and learn about the lives of others, this project is an important early step toward creating thoughtful citizens. Those of you who participated in our partnership with Project Art to teach art in underfunded public libraries also contributed to childhood civic education, since exposure in the arts is associated with improved educational outcomes, greater emotional awareness, and reduced risk behavior. As political and educational institutions continue to reduce or threaten the reduction of arts funding, TC's Student Advocates for the Arts, led by our Arts Administration program, are pushing for effective policies that will keep the creative and civic benefits of the arts accessible to all, and functioning as engaged citizens in the process. Some of you who have helped to expand and document the work of TC's Inclusive Classrooms Project, which supports K-12 educators in creating curricula and structures to meet the needs of a diverse range of learners, in a single classroom. Others of you have promoted the practice of philosophy in the public schools, working with educators to introduce topics into their classroom discussions that are essential to responsible citizenship, such as how to live a good life and how to respect others. Some of you have advanced the teaching and practice of global citizenship by helping to develop a global competency certificate program. A partnership with the Aegis Society and World Savvy, the program provides educators with tools to help their students understand the U.S. in an international context and to prepare them to become fully globally informed citizens. And we can't understand the present or build a better future without learning and teaching about the past, especially the histories of those often left out of our textbooks. That's why some of you participated in our Educating Harlem project by helping to record and digitize oral testimonies related to Harlem's educational history. The third way you've promoted civic education has been through your own individual work. A few examples. Take TESOL graduate Shiping Duong, who is working to improve civic education in Taiwan by influencing formal English language education policy. You can applaud her. Though most Taiwanese students receive 12 years of mandatory formal English education, many still struggle with basic English by the time they enter college. Shiping was frustrated that the old methods remain stubbornly in place, preventing generations of Taiwanese people from full participation in international education, business, politics, and civil life. Shiping knew something had to change, so she decided that she was going to model for policymakers a better form of English education and to build a brand new school in which to do so. It should come as no surprise that Shiping came to TC to learn as much as possible about creating an innovative curriculum for her new school. She took classes in neuroscience, psychology, and other fields in addition to TESOL to better understand all aspects of language learning. And in the meantime, she kept things moving on the school, which is under construction and which will open next spring. Students in Shiping's school will learn English by reading the news, debating politics, discussing cultural differences, and asking critical questions about the world around them. In other words, by becoming exceptional citizens. Shiping plans eventually to open more schools around Taiwan, tailoring curricula and teaching methods to different students' needs. She will create an online learning platform for students from low-income or rural areas to reduce performance variation among schools. And she will work to persuade the Ministry of Education to adopt her methods of language instruction as national models for language and civic education. Shiping, you are making a difference. Congratulations. Also making her mark on the civic education landscape is Samantha Victor from our program in inclusive elementary education. Sam grew up in a low-income rural hamlet of Long Island. Her father, who was from Bangladesh, left home shortly after she was born, and her mother struggled to raise her and her two sisters. Sam found solace at school, where her teachers showed her the person she could be. Sam wanted to offer other children that same sense of possibility. But her first attempt as a teenage exchange student teaching impoverished students in India didn't go so well. I had this world savior complex, she said, but I was a very bad ally. Years later, while teaching Palestinian refugees in the West Bank, Sam discovered the key to being a good ally, providing others with the tools to develop their own voices and to become productive citizens. Ultimately, she decided she could be the best possible friend by becoming a full-time teacher here in New York City. Sam chose TC because of our focus on urban education. She wants to bring together students from all walks of life in order to eliminate the biases and presumptions that divide us. The word inclusive is really, really important to me, she said. As a half South Asian girl in a conservative white working town, I had very few people to look up to who look like me. Sam, today we are all looking up to you. Thank you for being such a wonderful ally and citizen. Graduates, the important work that all of you are doing is very much at the core of what makes TC great. In this room are creators of beautiful works of art and music who will inspire new generations to view and engage the world more imaginatively. Others among you will prepare students from the earliest grades through college to achieve basic and then more sophisticated literacy and language skills. Or perhaps you'll specialize in the critical work of teaching citizens of the future to respect, appreciate, and evaluate our past, and to undertake productive collaborations to assure our future. But all of you, educators, artists, administrators, scholars, leaders, all of you will have a hand in changing the trajectories of the lives you touch for the better, and they will change you. Why? Because the diplomas you leave with today stand for more than a resolve to confront what is wrong in our society and to help make it right. They're also a summons for you to continue to deepen your knowledge and understanding of the students you teach and the communities you serve, so you can work with them to achieve brighter futures. The challenges confronting our society are daunting, but my faculty colleagues and I are optimistic about the future because we have taken the full measure of your talents, integrity, and readiness. We are confident that you individually and collectively will make the greatest possible difference in the world, and you'll both be and create outstanding citizens in the course of your work. You will reinvigorate the civic purposes of education, psychology, and health. This is your time. Keep bright the chain of social justice and the striving for civic good that started with us at TC's founding. Congratulations. We have now reached the moment in this ceremony when we honor an extraordinary individual whose life's work has advanced the cause of education while upholding TC's core mission to foster excellence and equity in the fields we serve. Among those honored at past ceremonies were Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Coretta Scott King, Senator George Mitchell, Pete Seeger, Thomas Friedman, Gail Collins, Spike Lee, Linda Darling Hammond, Temple Grandin, and the Reverend Dr. Calvin O. Butts. This year, we honor 4 preeminent scholars and practitioners: Jacqueline Woodson, Melissa Fleming, Madhav Chavan, and Khalil Gibran Muhammad. I am pleased to welcome TC Professor Yolanda Sealy-Ruiz, joined by Provost Thomas James, to introduce Jacqueline Woodson. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and congratulations, graduates. It is my pleasure to invite our medalist, Jacqueline Woodson, to join us at the podium. Jacqueline Woodson. We sometimes speak of literary stylists as though they produced new looks for the fall runway. Yet for the writer, true stylistic innovation inevitably results from following her material where it leads. You have been unflinching in that pursuit. Guided by astonishing empathy for all characters, your work, as you have put it, is, quote, not always physically autobiographical, but is always emotionally autobiographical, because every feeling my characters have had is a feeling that I have had, unquote. Certainly, you write as the daughter of a single mother who led her family out of the Jim Crow South, or as part of an interracial same-sex couple. Yet you also dream of inviting James Baldwin, Pablo Neruda, and Elie Wiesel to bust out some really nice Bordeaux. Your reading ranges from Ann Patchett to Mad Magazine, and in describing teen pregnancy in your novel, Another Brooklyn, you channel, quote, not only Black girlhood, but all girlhood and always, unquote. Small wonder, then, that with each new creation, you break fresh ground. You wrote your National Book Award-winning memoir, Brown Girl Dreaming, in verse because memories don't come in straight-up narratives, but rather in these small moments with all this white space around it. The 6-year-old narrator of your story, Trev, is biologically female, but already knows he is, quote, wrong down there, unquote. And in Feathers, a white student at an all-black school is so confounding that some classmates call him Jesus boy, while others bully him unmercifully. Perhaps your empathy for these diverse souls results from being, quote, the skinny girl in the back of the classroom who was always getting into trouble for talking or missed homework, unquote, but who, with a teacher's affirmation, sat up a little straighter, folded my hands on the desk, smiled, and began to believe in me.
Jacqueline Woodson, for inspiring young people to believe, for finding universality in intense personal experience, and for giving us literature that will entertain, move, and inspire generations to come. We proudly present you with the Teachers College Medal for Distinguished Service.
So I can't get this medal twice, right? I'm probably not gonna be up here again. So I'm sorry, y'all. They can't take it back now. First and foremost, Yolanda, thank you for that glorious and beautiful introduction. And thank you, Teachers College, for having me here. I know you're regretting it with that selfie, but I have a talk that I wrote because I had to write a talk. And it's not long, because I know your butts are already starting to hurt, and this is only the beginning. But last week, I was on a class trip with my 9-year-old son, Jackson Leroy, and the teachers took 33 kids to the Museum of Natural History. And I realized that this is what hell must look like. But it's also in the hands of those great teachers of Brooklyn New School, this is what heaven is. And I'm so moved and grateful for the work all of you are doing and for the work that you have done. And BNS in the house, thank you, thank you, thank you. And everywhere there is a parent thanking a teacher at a school for getting their child through another day. There is a balm in Gilead that makes the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. In the world of children's books, there comes a point where the stories change to tales where there is no longer a happy ending. For many of us, it comes on too quickly that going from fairy tales to realistic fiction, where suddenly no perfectly fitted glass slipper brings about a happily ever after, no imp spinning straw into gold, no pea beneath a mattress ending in some heteronormative, very white world of marriage and queendom. No going from beans to beanstalk, to murder, to wealth. The first time I read my book, Each Kindness, to a group of third graders, a boy stood up, enraged. The book, about a child who is unkind and in being so discovers what she loses, ends with this passage. That afternoon, I walked home alone. When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wished I would have said to Maya. Each kindness I had never shown. I threw small stones into it, over and over, watching the way the water rippled out and away, out and away. Like each kindness, done and not done, like every girl somewhere holding a small gift out to someone and that someone turning away from it. I watched the water ripple as the sun set through the maples and the chance of a kindness with Maya became more and more forever gone. At the school I was visiting, the enraged boy, hearing the silence after the words forever gone, realized that this was the end of the book. It's not supposed to happen like that, he said. They're supposed to become friends, and there's supposed to be a happily ever after. It's not supposed to happen like that, he said again and again. And of course, he's right in some way. In a perfect world, there should be more happily ever afters. In a perfect world, we should be able to wake up feeling like we can exhale, like our work is done. But this is far from a perfect world, and our work is never done. In children's books, there is no rule of a happily ever after, but there is a balm in Gilead. Running through every story written for young people, there is hope. After all, who wants to keep reading if there is no hope there? Who wants to keep doing anything without hope? And you can't wait to spring the hope on the reader at the very end. You've lost them by then. The hope has to flow through the story. This is probably why so many writers of young people's literature seem to be such ding-dang optimists all the time. Alas, so now this, my brilliant, lovely, thoughtful, about to change the world, graduates, is the world we're living in. A world where each day, as the poet, feminist, lesbian, mother, activist Audre Lorde said, we must wake up knowing we have work to do and go to bed knowing we've done that work. That work and that hope is going to get us and the next generation through this crazy now. That work and that hope is going to be the balm in Gilead. You are all about to go out and change the world. You will be the gatekeepers, the voices of reason, the openers of young minds. What a deep and beautiful narrative you're taking on. You will face again and again the enraged boy who doesn't think the story should end that way. And you will agree with him and say, no, it shouldn't. So how will you, my thoughtful child, go out and change the narrative? You will give them paintbrushes and clay and blank notebooks and pens. You will give them books that, as Dr. Rudine Sims Bishop said, have mirrors and windows and sliding glass doors. Through these books, you will usher them into worlds they never could have imagined, introduce them to people they never will forget. You will walk them out of the lives they've always known into worlds of possibility, into worlds filled with hope and action and moments of pure laughter and joy. But most of all, you won't promise them fairy tale futures, but will teach them the importance of turning hope into action. Because we know we're living in a time where they are meeting the bully head on, and like the third grade boy are thinking, but it's not supposed to happen like that. They have been taught they have a voice and their voice matters, and yet someone is saying to them, someone who is supposed to be powerful and thoughtful and a leader of a country, that who they are doesn't matter. This is where you come in. Because you know history and you know the story, and like them, your foundation was a small guy named David defeating the giant with wit and a stone. Like them, you grew up cheering when Rapunzel realized her hair was her power, that the freedom she craved was already a part of her, just in need of action. That Dorothy's hills were just waiting to be clicked together. And maybe even Snow White just needed a nice long nap so those needy little men would stop depending on her for everything and she could get busy with the true work at hand. Yeah, finding love is awesome, but wow, changing the world is next level. You, my teachers, are the true leaders of this country. Stay brave, stay woke. Walk into those classrooms each day knowing the people you are guiding come from a history of fairy tales and realistic fiction, a history of happy endings and hope. And like that third grade boy, they truly believe in kindness. Young people are magic. Every day, walk into your classroom and see them. I'm Jackie Woodson from Bushwick, Miss Moskowitz's class, 3-301. If someone had told Miss Moskowitz that I would be standing here one day, she may have had a great laugh over her cigarette in the smoky teacher's lounge of PS 106. See your students' amazing futures in their eyes and their actions and their passion, not in their test scores. Today marks the beginning of a new narrative. Thank you for choosing to help young people and all people gather the tools together that will rewrite America's current heartbreaking story. Thank you.
Graphics. Go. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome student speaker Usama Mirza, Master's Candidate, Department of Curriculum and Teaching.
Hello, testing. Okay, great. Dear faculty members, my fellow students, my dear Teachers College community, my name is Usama, and I am from Pakistan. I've been contemplating on the impact of saying that statement ever since 2 years ago I got my admission letter to Teachers College and I was trying to find a roommate. Here's how it will go. Hi, I'm Usama. I'm calling from Pakistan. Hello? Hello? The conversation didn't last very long. And at one point I began wondering, like, should I go by my second name, Javed, or should I go by my last name, Mirza? I even toyed with calling myself MJ. And my fears grew as I landed at the airport here in New York, and I got taken into screening, secondary screening at immigration. And at the moment, all I could do was remember the voices in my head that I'd been hearing before leaving. Usama, you've got to keep a low profile, or you don't know, you might disappear. While standing here before you, so much for keeping that low profile. When I came out of that airport, I was shocked. It was like I'd stepped into an ocean of people from all over the world. It was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen, and we get the honor of seeing it every single day in New York City. People of all dresses, all languages, all walks of life. I have never seen anything like it, and that is something I'm never, ever, ever going to, it's imprinted on my heart. But the biggest shock came when I came to Teachers College and I realized that I, a man from Pakistan called Usama, felt welcome. And I can't believe I'm here right now giving this speech. But ladies and gentlemen, so much has happened since then. And at times it feels like we're just so afraid that, that beautiful diversity is no longer cherished. But despite those fears, I know, standing here before you, let it be known far and wide that this Usama feels more loved than ever before. Let me tell you about what I have seen and experienced here that brings me hope for the future. To the world at large, the media shows the US like it's some utopia. But we know, and we studied in our courses, that the reality is that every day is a ferocious fight against inequality, prejudice, racism, and fear. Just the other week, I was visiting Washington, D.C., and I stood on the steps of the National Mall, and I felt those words spoken by Martin Luther King Jr., "I have a dream." I have been uplifted watching people try to fulfill that dream here in the US, fighting for that equality, fighting for the space to feel loved and feel like you belong, regardless of your gender orientation, regardless of your religion, regardless of your immigration status, regardless of any other identity. And that's what brings me to this institution, Teachers College. This place is a fortress for the movement for social justice. Ladies and gentlemen, in my time at Teachers College, I have been transformed. Seeing the courage and love with which educators are fighting for their students to have a place in their schools where they feel welcome. As graduate students, we ate, breathed, lived the social justice experience through our classes, through our projects, through our discussions with our professors, and through inspirational interactions with each other. Through the real experiences of teaching students in real New York City classrooms, we have learned so much about what can be. We now know how to make change happen because we ourselves have been transformed by others. I have no words to describe how moved I've been by everything I've learned here and everyone I've met. It's in the small things. You get an email from your professor saying, "Hey, I just wanted to check on you." Or you get a poster from the Office of Student Affairs advertising free massages and facials in order to de-stress. Or it's the smiles in the hallways where people you hardly know just smile to give you encouragement. Thank you, Teachers College, for being all that you are. You have changed me, you have transformed me, you have transformed all of us who graduate here today. I shouldn't have been surprised. Turns out Teachers College has been transforming me before I even knew it. My second grade teacher, Harim Atif Khan, is an alumnus of Teachers College. She's actually here in the audience right now. And she's the reason why I'm where I am here. She's the one who motivated me, inspired me to become an educator. She herself went through my program, and in 2009, she was here giving a speech as well. Right now, she's here pursuing her doctoral degree, and this last semester, I took a course with her called Teaching of Writing. So, Teachers College has been shaping our destinies and weaving our narratives beautifully in ways throughout the world that we don't even realize. And I hope that I have been able to influence Americans' views of Pakistanis during my time here the way Harim has as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, Next, I would like to just say thank you to my incredible professors, absolutely incredible professors. Because of their encouragement and their support, because they've helped me dream, I've decided to launch my own organization when I go back to Pakistan. It's going to be a first aid educational organization that will help people in far-flung areas where ambulances can take up to 2 hours to reach, will help them learn that basic first aid in order to be able to keep themselves safe. And what I've learned about how to help inculcate a certain mindset, that has been invaluable to that. I'm so eternally grateful to Teachers College for everything. I want to thank my parents, Ammi and Abu, and my family and my friends for all their support and for everything. I wouldn't be here without you. And I want to thank the Fulbright program for making my TC experience possible. But most of all, I just want to say that I'm going to miss everyone over here, all my friends who I've studied with for the last 2 years. I'm going to miss the noisy bustling of Zankel Hall, seeing that Dewey statue every day, the crammed elevator in Grace Dodge, where you know everybody's just cursing the person who wants to go on to just the second floor. I'm going to miss the Grace Dodge cafeteria, which for me felt like Hogwarts. Ladies and gentlemen, we go back home motivated, armed with new ideas. My name is Osama. I am from Pakistan, and I know that I am loved here in New York City and at Teachers College. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jennifer Hostin, Coco Tanaka Suwan, and Young Elsa Lee, Master's Candidates, Department of Arts and Humanities.
That's great.
And now, to recognize each of the master's degree candidates are Tom Rock, Vice Provost of Student Affairs, and Christine Room, Associate Dean.
Good afternoon. At this time, it gives us great pleasure to read the names of those candidates for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Philosophy, and Master of Science degrees at Teachers College, Columbia University. All degrees will be conferred at the Columbia University ceremony on Wednesday. Thank you very much. And now, the candidates for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Philosophy, and Master of Science degrees.
I'd now like to welcome the candidates in the Department of Arts and Humanities. Andrew Allard.
Bassem Bendradri.
Hiram Kang.
Yiwang Yi.
Walker Wilson.
Yaojia Q.
Eric Young.
Yangxin Wang.
Thorleifur Gunnarsson.
Xing Zhao.
Nicole Schindel.
Keijun Ma.
Allison Dorfman.
Yang Zhang.
Virginia Farah Cooper.
Yu Li.
Sarah Rakesum.
Chen Shen.
Brittany O'Brien.
Man Su.
Xiaowei Tang.
Silu Chen.
Elise Holzbauer.
Yijia Zhang.
Catherine Kame.
Mangqian Liang.
Liwen Chai.
Yu Yang Ju.
Yanyi Lai.
Sijia Zhang.
Yihan Wang.
Jialing Hong.
Kina Dordoni.
Tianjing Liu.
Daniel Moore.
Wenjun Zhao.
Greg Bell.
Jessica Jean-Baptiste.
Matt Smith.
Jihei Kim.
Nathan Palmisano.
Tenny Yurdekian.
Kelly Cummings.
Samantha Berman.
Brian Peterson.
Ava Kotlowitz.
Olivia Nelson.
Anita Seidler.
Kateri Kranz Odendahl.
Corrine Shore.
Emilio DiSabato.
Casey Gallagher.
Jennifer Eckers.
Tiffany Choi.
Dwayne Bailey Castro.
Jungyoon Choi.
Hannah Rich.
Leyin Zhang.
Stephanie Bernabe.
Shakira Soderstrom.
Isabel Vondermule.
Aaliyah Taylor.
Audrey Anid.
Vanessa Arnold.
Megan Friel.
Fred Lee.
Madi Agino.
Colin Brooks.
Sarah Smygen.
Sophia McKinnon.
Laura Miller.
Cariana Arredondo.
Hannah Levine.
Yoon Chen Chang.
Mary Angelo.
Elizabeth Marks.
Yakino Kondo.
Hao Jenny Xu.
Joe Lee Chang.
Danning Liu.
Jamie Parrott.
Fan Yuan.
Blair Townsend.
Menki Zhang.
Jessica Isgro.
Ziwei Jiang.
Kaylee Callahan.
Jinrain Su.
Jade Ong.
Jinchiyu Wan.
Alexandra Tweedley.
Di Wang.
Kelly Olshan.
Uni Sun.
Emily McCabe.
In Lin.
Christian Otten.
Ruatong Kong.
Coco Tanaka Shuan.
Mu Ha.
Jennifer Hostin.
Ji Wang.
Yu Meng.
Wen Sun.
Jeannie Chow.
Hating Hong.
Di Wu.
Yishan Liao.
Jia Liang.
Michelle Kim.
Chang Chang Tian.
Wune Kim.
Ethan Zong.
Hiwoon Chui.
Lujun Lee.
Brian Bishop.
Karen Cow.
Catherine Hull.
Betty Sat.
Rebecca Fiddle.
Craig Smith.
Yamuna Baskaran.
Wenwei Lee.
Laura Shelby.
Matthew Thornton.
Alaya El Sayed.
Myra Romero.
Vincent Pham.
Emily Jerez.
Tara Lauhakan.
Marguerite McQuaid.
Sylvia Moon.
Sabrina Palms.
Alexandra Herodopoulos.
Emilia Fialo.
Sarah Lifshutz.
Milagros Rodriguez.
Alfonsina Jimenez.
Yanti Hol.
Andrea Eileen Durkis.
Yunju Lee.
Michelle Stabler Havner.
Ted Oxholm.
Anna Chiriani Dean.
Danielle Kellner.
Tara Nair.
Jordan Olson.
Yuki Gao.
MJ Lee.
Cam Chiang Chiu.
Daniel Wolf.
Evan Owen.
Jikam Yang.
Rosie McEwen.
Yorkshin Lim.
Christian Rodriguez.
Chengxing Shi.
Mary Daphne Kasakopoulos.
Dosavia Treno Wells.
Rodney Leonard.
Justin Samuels.
Makiko Habu.
Thomas McGovern.
Ansudi Wadanapruk Sudwan.
Christian Douglas.
Joy Dong.
Daniel Seymour.
Caroline Ward.
Molly Warner.
Jorina Lauren.
Saromi Ham.
Stephanie Thornton.
Caitlin Wang.
Yulene Liu.
Melissa Tam.
Cynthia Yu.
Shupring Duan.
Kevin Burns.
Heijin Ri.
Sierra Robinson Penrod.
Galloway Kana Crane.
Caroline Tachi.
Danielle Greenaway.
Jamie Fallon.
Kimberly Papa.
Amanda Selleck.
Jordan Werwa.
Mia Corvino.
Rochelle Jurassic.
Adele Foster.
Xingting Liang.
Allison Calhoun.
Natasha Thomas.
Isabel McDonald.
Rebecca Gould.
Katia Demetriadis.
Amy Olson.
Rosemaria Russo.
Bridget Filarski.
Kari Aubrey.
Claudia Azevedo.
Reniel Jimenez.
Amy Liang.
Alex Fagan.
Dana Hill.
Misha Khan.
Tessa Makin.
Jesse Sin.
Stephanie Fincher.
Alyssa Stagliano.
Mason Sue.
Dennis Skullion.
Clara Boschert.
Sean Adler.
Eliza Deshind.
Allison Mitchell.
Yvonne Rosas.
Stephen Kim.
Danny Scheffler.
Martin Castro.
Daniel Hedrick.
Rebecca Herman.
Catherine Morganegg.
Margaret Dwyer.
Catherine Murphy.
Haesung Jean.
Angelina Modica.
Iolani Reed.
Lindy Tochko.
Alicia Holland.
Jacqueline Sugru.
Christina Amendola.
Kelly Pomeroy.
Cun Tien.
Sarah Donatelli.
Yajia Su.
Catherine Jennings.
Panwaran Kansirasin.
Janelle Conklin.
Jennifer Koo.
Shannon Walsh.
Lynn Chow.
Ashley Gramellini.
Grace Han.
Bermude Jules.
Tina Spanovich.
Martha Surratt Morley.
Rihanna Khan.
Julie Sandfort.
Elise Jablo.
Jeffrey DuPont.
Mia Ibrahim.
Noah Tichy.
Laura Risotto.
Christopher Weatherly.
Martin Nevin.
Conchetta Abati.
Andrea Wood.
Luis Martinez.
Elizabeth LaBerge.
Anthony Di Taranto.
Krista Cook.
John Schmergel.
Dorothy Smith.
Jean Kim.
Farron Goydell.
Jiaochen Zhao.
Christy Campo Giannani.
Shumei Shia.
Cameron Yates.
Alana Hammond.
Rachel Tessler.
Aaron Baldwin.
Christopher DeMarcus.
Stephen Heckel.
Miriam Bachman.
Jeremy Na.
Heather Hune.
Jasvinder Desi.
Ellen Fitzpatrick.
Daniel Zauderer, the Chara Ucheda Annual Fund Scholar, is accompanied by President's Advisory Council member and alumna, Chara Ucheda. Daniel is one of many TC students who benefit from dedicated scholarship support.
Max Levi Frieder. Max Frieder, the Moser Burton Scholar, is accompanied by Professors Joy Moser and Judith Burton. Max is one of the many Teachers College students who benefit from dedicated scholarship support. Will the students and the faculty from the Department of Arts and Humanities please stand and be recognized?
Wonderful, congratulations. Thank you. I'd now like to welcome the candidates from the Department of Curriculum and Teaching. You can move. Tamika Brown.
Melanie Glickman.
Diana Parasram.
Arturo Rodriguez.
Adeline Nieto.
Kristen Dormajan.
Eugenia Seo.
Dorina Johnson.
Suhyun Kwan.
Cami Stack.
Yumi Bay.
Alexandra Rank.
Althea Benlos.
Ellen Oshinsky.
Karen Walters.
Raisha Parikh.
Kristen DeVito.
Evelyn Abraham.
Samantha Lambambarda.
Megan Smith.
Stephanie Wasser.
Christine Benavente.
Carly Marvin.
Hannah Hughes.
Robin Weinberg.
Megan Lee.
Jordan Goff.
Sophie Mariash.
Sarah Hansen.
Aaron Williams.
Julianne Exposito.
Tony Tong.
Elizabeth Pitcanix.
Anna Draywing.
Catherine Miller.
Melissa Dunn.
Whitney Millichap.
Catherine Callahan.
Jamie Wang.
Alexandra Gabriel.
Jenna Rodman Lempesis.
Leilani Hampton.
Brittany Schwartz.
Kelly La Liberty.
Saknia Tahada.
Katie Saracen.
Megan Silver.
Jordan Gray.
Karina Merchandani.
Gabriella Luciano.
Melissa Gutkin.
Stephanie Willis.
Jennifer Snyder.
Lindsay Kay.
Christina Venturas.
Katie Levine.
Anne Fitzgerald.
Megan Sylvester.
Camille Sunarain.
Karen Finnerty.
Senya Mario.
Antigone Kane.
Margaret Henderson.
Corporal Jason Angaho.
Brooke Gaines.
Elisa Hartwig.
Carolyn Ducey.
Leah Weiss.
Amanda Torres.
Jamie Moore.
Agata Milcherek.
Claire Sutphin.
Zoe Hemingway.
Marley Glustoff.
Daryl Rothman Dick.
Tess Gatoff.
Sylvia Lee.
Kohava Branagan.
Chelsea Marshall.
Christine Travers.
Yu Young Liu.
Lorraine Natalie Gonzalez Shaheen.
Mercedes Alucea.
Chiara Tahada.
Fayola Antoine.
Samantha Pita.
Nyasia McKinstry.
Samantha Nash.
Lakina Joyner.
Tamra Massey.
Stephanie Harville.
Melody Bates.
Nicole McIntyre.
Liana Ross.
Lindley Day.
Rachel Parks.
Anum Khan.
Jay Joshi.
Maggie Pierce.
Luke Rousseau.
Meng Zhang.
Angela Alonzo.
Jonathan Pfeiffer.
Nicola O'Halloran.
Sophia Carolyn.
Francis Early.
Jiyun Park.
Samantha Sichter.
Svetlana Korneva.
Jameson Getz.
Anna Zuba.
Sydney Lewis.
Nicole Bellestri.
Dylan Shalofsky.
Caroline Pappas.
Andrea Nelson.
Natalie Kaplan.
Denise Sankaktar.
Marquetta Ort.
Erica Rourke.
Alexandra Blank.
Jacqueline Zarzemski.
Megan McKeary.
Emily Wallace.
Jenny Portillo.
Jessica Weil.
Robin Estela.
Catherine Yoon.
Lauren Centurioni.
Helen Wong.
Jillian Clark.
Gabrielle Tai.
Amanda Silverman.
Suhee Lee.
Stephanie Harris.
Louise Dominato.
Sarah Lupicello.
Carolyn Yu.
Jane Hutchison.
Maggie Slover.
Da-In Yoon.
May Ko.
Ku Fan.
Susan Yuna Lee.
Soyoung Shin.
Yoon Kwang Cho.
Lauren Collier.
Shihan Su.
Usama Mirza.
Shibnia Itiki.
Catherine Juliana Dede Ofale Adamete. The Beverly Johnson Scholar is accompanied by Alumni Council member and alumna Dr. Beverly Johnson. Catherine is one of the many TC students who benefit from dedicated scholarship support.
Will the students and the faculty from the Department of Curriculum and Teaching please stand and recognize our graduates? And will all of our faculty and all of our students please stand and congratulate our graduates?
Yeah, we can start to tighten back up to the podium. Stand by for the theme. Where'd the theme go? Where is he? Okay, I'm going. And now, for the presentation of the candidates, please welcome Provost Thomas James.
President Furman, Mr. Rickert, Mr. Highland, trustees, faculty, staff, and guests, it is my pleasure as provost of the college to present to you the master's candidates from Teachers College. Please hold your applause until all the candidates have been announced. I would like first to ask everyone to be seated. Thank you. Now, would Master of Arts candidates please stand to be recognized and remain standing? All Master of Arts students. Would Master of Science students please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Would Masters of Philosophy candidates please stand to be recognized and remain standing? And would Masters of Education candidates please stand to be recognized and remain standing? President Furman, I ask you to recommend these students for the granting of their master's degrees Wednesday morning at the Columbia University commencement exercises.
And bingo.
Please be seated.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeffrey Putman, the president of the Teachers College Alumni Association.
Alumni. Let me say that again. Alumni. As you stand here before this esteemed group, trustees, administrators, your faculty, family, and friends, and alongside your peers, we look on with great pride. Today, at this moment, you join our Alumni Association, a network of over 90,000 professionals, comprising alumni from all 10 academic departments and all walks of life and career stages, who have created this legacy which you are now a part of. Your fellow Teachers College alumni have truly made a global mark, shaping many fields of inquiry and practice. They have done so because of their leadership, tenacity, experience, and wisdom. They have also done so because of the people like the ones around you today, building solid support systems and a network of peer mentors. Many would argue that they have done so because of their Teachers College preparation. We know that you too will follow in these footsteps and make your own mark in your respective fields. Just as you occasionally needed some support throughout your time at TC, we know you will need similar resources as you embark on your careers. Look to Teachers College. I am here today to tell you how valuable your participation in your Alumni Association can be. We are colleagues and collaborators, supporters and challengers, mentors and mentees, and most importantly, we are your peers. What holds us all together is our alma mater, Teachers College. While everyone had a slightly different journey, I am certain that no one's path leading to this time and place was free of challenges. I am also certain that along the way you found inspiration, insight, and joy. And many of you have developed what will be lifelong friendships. I encourage you to stay connected to your classmates and fellow graduates as you move forward in your careers, and to tap into the deep pool of expertise and knowledge offered by the broader TC community. We hope to see you at future alumni events and also featured in future newsletters. Please remember that you will always have a home and rich community at TC, which you can access physically and virtually. On behalf of your fellow alumni, we all wish you the best in your endeavors. Congratulations and welcome to the TC Alumni Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Hyland, co-chair of the Teachers College Board of Trustees.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the trustees of Teachers College, I want to congratulate each of you on your very special achievement. We thank your family and friends for joining with the faculty and staff of Teachers College to recognize you, the master's candidates of the class of 2017. Please join us for light refreshments in Russell Courtyard at Teachers College. And for everyone who's not in blue, please remain behind until our students have left the cathedral. Thank you very much.